FYI. So let's do this. How to create curiosity on social media with Facebook Lives and with posts. And here's what I want you to know. First and foremost, I was not always amazing at creating curiosity on social media. In fact, I freaking sucked. I was a spammer. So I want you to understand. Right? That you are going to need some time in order to build influence on social media and in order to perfect your style and find your mojo. So I don't want you to think you have to be like me or you have to be like any other freaking influencer out there on social media. I want you to understand that something really powerful happens when you find your own mojo. So do me a favor and put Find My Mojo, hashtag Find My Mojo in the comments below. Because I want you to understand something. You know, when you can figure out your voice, when you can figure out your story and you can tell tiny little stories with images and tell tiny little stories with videos, and you really can draw an audience in and you can have them really feel like they're a part of your journey, then what ends up happening is something really powerful. They become addicted to you. And that's really what social media has turned into, right? So I want you to think about it. Where was Justin Bieber found? He was found on YouTube, right? Think of all the social media stars or influencers that are out there. I mean, I think about the Kardashians, and in my opinion, if it wasn't for social media, I don't think some of them would be where they are at this moment right now. So we can take advantage of it, but something that I feel like a lot of people kind of lose the sight of is it's about impact, it's about storytelling, and it's really about connecting with an audience. And unfortunately, a lot of network marketers and a lot of businesses that are building on social media, unfortunately, they just haven't figured that out. They haven't found their mojo yet. And so what are they doing? They're freaking spamming everybody, and it's consistently selling. And at the end of the day, even my favorite people in the world that I love, if I consistently feel like I'm being sold, I hit that unfollow button. I will bless and release. And I want you to understand that that's something we want to avoid. Now, if they're not our tribe, it's all good in the hood. We don't have to worry about it. But at the end of the day, we want to try to avoid that happening at all costs. So I want you to remember something. And you've probably heard this a bazillion times, but I'm going to say it again because it's so important. Stories sell, facts tell. I've said it. You've heard it. I need you to write it in the comments for me right now. Stories sell, facts tell. So stories actually create what's called an emotional connection. I talked about this a little bit about telling stories with selfies in my last blog post, and I really want you guys to kind of comprehend this, but stories create an emotional connection. And as humans, we actually crave emotional connection, right? Think about that for a second. We crave it from our spouses. We crave unconditional love from our children or from our parents, or maybe you don't have that with your parents, but there's something out there, or a friendship. You crave a certain emotional connection to the friends or the BFFs that you have, right? We as humans, we crave an emotional connection. And so stories do that for us. Stories create emotional connections. So it's so important that you find ways to tell stories. So for an example, today I made a post on my personal Facebook profile, right? And on my personal Facebook profile, and I did it on my Instagram, right? Because I have 2 different followings on Instagram and on Facebook, believe it or not, right? And so I made a post, and it was a picture of my daughter and myself. And I wanted to talk about what my team in my network marketing business, what we personally accomplished on Black Friday and Cyber Monday together. But I didn't want to just tell a story and not have an image that went with it. So I found that image because I knew first and foremost, mothers were going to have an emotional connection to my daughter, my 8-year-old daughter touching my belly, right? Like it was just a moment that I was having with my kid. And inside that story, inside that post, I told a story about how grateful I was for my team. It wasn't come join my team or be a part of my team or this is why my team is better than you, because being better, having a better product or having a better, better company or better compensation plan, I promise you all together right there, that is not gonna work. What's up, Todd Falcone? So great to see you on here. Thank you. I got game. You should see me when I'm not pregnant. I'm on the courts. I used to be a really good basketball star. Just saying. Anyway, let me rewind. If that's the kind of storytelling you think you're going to be doing in your social media presence, that won't work. So if you haven't checked out my post, if you're taking notes, which I highly suggest that you do because I did for all of you, this crazy brain, I needed to get it down on paper, okay? If you haven't already, I want you to take notice of how I tell stories on Instagram and on Facebook when I make a post. Because it's not about recruiting from every single post you make or every single Facebook Live you do or every single post. It's about the impact of sharing your story and being a storyteller. It's called story branding. And just so you know, every big brand that is out there has a story. Nike has a story. Coca-Cola has a story. What else? Bieber, place where I go shopping all the time, has a story. My favorite Anna Lee dolls, they have a story. There's a story behind every kind of brand. And when you can figure out how to tell a story with an image or with a video and on social media, I promise you, your results are going to change, okay? So I don't know about you guys, but how many of you have seen the movie About Time? Rachel McAdams is actually in that movie. I watched it again last night. I freaking love it. It's kind of like a remake of The Time Traveler's Wife, but a little bit different. It's on demand. Don't judge me. I watched it last night at like 1 a.m. because I don't sleep. I don't go to bed till like 3. This baby keeps me up all night. How many of you have seen it? So my Instagram name is @ Marina Ann Simone. Marissa will probably drop it in the comments. So the movie About Time last night had moments in there that kind of like, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to share this tomorrow in the training, right? Oh my gosh, Katie, you collect Anna Lee dolls too? I just found some great deals at Home Goods on the new Anna Lee's, like $12.99. Sorry, I'm so ADD right now. You're gonna freaking love it. I found new ones. My Grammy, who's sick, for those of you that know, she's very, very sick with stage 4 cancer right now. So thank you for all the prayers and all the reaching out. She has collected Anna Lee dolls over the years. And so I've always been in love with Anna Lee's. I used to play with them and pretend, in the house, I used to pretend with them. And so I collect them and it's just gonna be a great reminder of her. So anyway, let me not get emotional. So About Time, let me go back. The ADD is so bad. About Time. So I'm watching it last night and I'm like, I have to talk about this on the training I'm doing tomorrow because it's so important. So this guy, Rachel McAdams' husband, before they ended up husband and wife, he's able to travel time, right? He's able to go back in time and he's able to change some things. And so when he was traveling back in time, the whole point of him traveling back in the very beginning is because he was trying to get, okay, ready for this? He was trying to get Rachel McAdams, I don't remember her name in the thing all of a sudden, but anyway, he was trying to get her to go on a date with him and to fall in love with him, right? And so he kept going back in time in order for that to happen. But what I saw and what was so powerful and what I want all of you to kind of comprehend is that there were the right moments and then all the others weren't the right moments for him to say the same line. Like he was trying to use the same line, same pickup line in a lot of the parts of the moments that he would go back and travel in time. And it took the one or two right moments. It was actually the one right moment in order for him to get her to say yes and to fall in love with him. Okay? So what's my point? My point is we're looking for those right moments on social media. We're looking for the right stories to impact the right audience on social media. It's not about every single Facebook Live having hundreds of thousands of views or even hundreds of views. It's not about that one Facebook post or Instagram post that takes you from 0 to hero. It's not about that. It's about the small and tiny stories that you're telling over and over that over time are gonna make a bigger impact. Those right moments will take you over and beyond. Can I get a yes in the comments if you are agreeing with what I'm saying? Or if you're having some light bulb moments, do me a favor and drop a light bulb in the comments below. So different moments. So what I want you to understand is I don't want you to compare yourself to what other people's results are on social media, because everyone has different moments. Everyone is gonna have a different moment in their business on social media. It took me, okay, so I started building back in like 2013 when I started building on social media. On 2012 is when I started building on Instagram. And when I go back and I look at my posts on Instagram, no bueno. I'm like, did I really post that? Like it was me in a dirty bathroom, like trying to pose all sexy. I'm like, what am I doing? No, ew. And then I'm spamming, right? So I evolved over time, and guess what? So are you. You just have to accept the process and be consistent and strengthen those muscles, that skill set, right? You're gonna find your little moments. I promise you, you're gonna find your little moments. Now you guys are all gonna go stalk my Instagram. You're gonna scroll all the way to the back to the bottom and be like, what was this girl doing? I think you need to do that. You need to see where I came from. It's a little bit harder on Facebook. On Instagram, you can go back, make sure you hit the follow button, but you could scroll up and you can see, like, even in the last year, I've gotten so much better, right? All right, so here's the thing. People join your business and buy your products because of your story. Your story is what drives people to join you or buy from you. So I think it's easier, to sell product for most because the company is providing like testimonial stories, people that have had before and afters, or, with the hair, I'm not going to say names of companies. I know the names. I'm just not going to say them. Okay. So like, with the hair company, there's before and afters. And then with weight loss companies, there's before and afters, skincare companies, even services, like there's testimonials. But I feel like a part of the business, and I was just having this conversation with one of my mentors last night, it's like I feel like the conversation of the business, the testimonials of the business, the stories of the business, people don't feel comfortable or confident enough to talk about that more. And that's why it's easier to get customers than it is to recruit. So I want you to understand that telling stories about a product and telling stories about you will drive more recruits into your business, and you can get really good at that. You can strengthen your skill set because you're selling yourself. You're not selling the company. Did you know that you're selling yourself? You're not selling the company. I mean, at the end of the day, the people that you recruit into your business, they have to work with you, right? They have to work with you. They have to work with your stories. They have to work with what you're willing to give. And obviously you can go up. If you don't have an upline or a sponsor, you can always go up, and you don't need one. Let me make that clear. However, right, when people join you, they're like, okay, they're expecting to get something out of you in order to have success in their business. So anyway, tiny stories. So I call it story branding. Story branding. That is what has truly helped my brand multiply, my Instagram go from 12,000 followers to 21,000 followers, where I have over 6,000 followers on Facebook, and I have an email list of over 20,000. Like, all of this has come from being vulnerable and sharing these tiny stories. So I want to get into the 6 steps. Would you guys think we were done? I told you this is going to be a great training. So let me wet my whistle. We're getting there. We got 1 page on the ground. By the way, I'm totally in pajama shorts, so I have a blanket on, so y'all can't see my chunk over here. Okay. So let's get into the 6 steps. I'm actually probably going to share. No, not 6. We're going to share a little bit less than that. But here's what I want you to think about. During this training, I want you to think about 2 things. I want you to think about what was your problem, or what's the problem, and what's the benefit of my solution. So write that down. Number 1, what's the problem? What's the problem? And number 2, what's the benefit of my solution? Those are the 2 things I want you to think about while I'm doing this training, okay? It's extremely important that you think about these two things. It's all gonna make sense at the very end, I promise. Everything I do, for anybody that's taken a course from me, a mastermind from me, anything has worked with me, is on my team, anything. All I do is I bring everything back full freaking circle. That's how I roll. So what? Oh, how about this? This is gonna help you a little bit. When you're targeted with Facebook ads, or when you're targeted with ads, thank you, Amanda, for dropping that in there, right? Do you usually feel like they're telling you a story? Whether it's through video or a post, whatever you click on, whatever ad it is that you click on, or you get sucked into a TV commercial, it's usually emotionally drawing you in. Yes or yes? Drop that in the comments. That is story selling. It's effective storytelling through posts, lives, and stories on Instagram. It can dramatically increase your conversions of sales. Storytelling. So here's an example. I'm going to be doing this in my next workshop, which I'm going to be talking about at the very end of this, and I have a free download for those of you that are brand new, so don't go anywhere. But basically, if you can tell a story about a product instead of just like posting a flyer, like I saw a lot of this happen and it was like driving me nuts during Black Friday, but like I was seeing, oh my gosh, blah, blah, weight loss products are on sale Cyber Monday. And I'm like, so what? Like what makes yours different, right? It's a story that you should be telling about it that's going to target that one human that maybe relates to it. So for example, like let me just talk about really quickly, like let's just talk skincare, right? So I'm pregnant. So something skincare related that would hit me is talking about acne or scarring or just, you know, like dry skin or sagging because I'm 34 and I feel like it's like, you know, whatever. So maybe if a woman was on Instagram stories and she's legit talking about how, you know, much her skin has changed and giving me, excuse me, that was the baby, a tutorial on how the skincare system works and really like drawing me in on it, right? That would, or stretch marks, exactly, Amy, that would draw me in and emotionally connect me to that woman. Whereas if she just posted a flyer of her product or her business or whatever, I would have been like, who cares? And I would have scrolled past it, right? How many of you do that? You scroll past something if you're like, that ain't gonna work for me. Or if you're on the stories and you're like, boop, next, right? You're swiping left. You're swiping left like on Tinder. Swipe. Anyway, so I want you to understand something, okay? It's like upstaging a house that someone's trying to sell, right? Realtors have a better results when a house is staged, in my opinion. That's how I almost bought a house that was way too much money. That wasn't worth the amount of money it was last year. My husband and I walked in. It was staged in my colors, and it was staged with gorgeous furniture, and I didn't care that the rooms were the size of a prison cell, and I didn't care that there was no backyard because the master was amazing, the kitchen was gorgeous, and it was like legit probably like 100,000 worth of furniture that was all my colors. So they almost had me because they were telling me a story inside that house. Can I get an amen? Or is there some light bulb moments right now? Are you having light bulb moments? I hope you are. So I want you to know that it's important to tell stories. I think I'm pretty much bringing that through. So let's talk really quick, okay? We need to structure a little bit. We need to structure this, okay? So first and foremost, you need number one, okay, of the 6 things. I'll go through them quickly, okay? Number 1 is your story needs character. Your story needs character. What do I mean by that? I mean, like, what's the freaking purpose of you telling this little tiny story that you're telling? Like, what is this tiny story you're telling? Like, what is the character? Eva's like, prison cell with your colors, sold. Exactly, right? So number 1 is your story needs character. You need to legit know, like, okay, what's the point of this freaking story? So who's suffering, right? What's the pain point? And who won? So your story, number 1, needs character. Number 2, what's the problem? And be specific. So my problem in my last post was that even though in my last company, I was making multiple 6 figures, I missed the first day of kindergarten for my daughter. I was always on a plane and I was never around. And now I don't have to do parties. I don't have to drive 6 hours, you know, to blah, 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 blah. So what is the problem I was talking about? I was talking about the problem of the time spending with my family, the freedom, right? So who is the person suffering, or what was the problem? Be specific and dig a little bit deep. And unfortunately, people are afraid to get vulnerable. You gotta get vulnerable. It's so, so important, okay? Let's see, number 3, let's go. Number 3, what was the solution, right? So number 3 is, what's the solution? So what changed? What changed in your story? I hope you guys are writing this down, okay? So number 3 is, what was the solution? What changed, okay? That's first and foremost. Number 4, what does your life look like now? Are you traveling more? Are you able to spend more time with your family? For me, it's able to have another baby girl, right? That's never gonna know what it was like for me to ever have a corporate job. Knock on some whatevers over here. But I'm not gonna miss her first day of kindergarten because everything I do is online, right? So that's what's changed for me, okay? Number 5, let's talk verbiage. Let's talk verbiage. Let's talk copy. Let's talk about what you're really talking about inside this bad boy. This is super important, okay? I want you to understand this. Because most of the time, you know, before, I used to teach where, you know, really you don't want to write too much. Not a lot of people are going to read. It's going to, you know, people get bored. Now it's the complete opposite, in my opinion. I think it's really evolved, right? It's really evolved on social media, where people are so addicted to their phone that the average person spends on Instagram alone anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes a day. That's what they say, but I think that's wrong. But that's not counting every other social media platform. I mean, how much are you on your phone? Right, you can see, sorry, the baby just keeps making me burp. I'm just gonna stop apologizing and just you guys will have to get over it, right? So yes, number 5 is verbiage. Verbiage is number 5. So people are always on their phone, so they are reading. They're looking for the emotional connection. I want you to think about that. So here's some popular phrases that you can put that kind of will get people drawn in. So for example, I remember when I wasn't making any money in network marketing. I thought I always had to recruit in order to build a residual income. But what I found is so freaking amazing, right? So I remember when is an example of a phrase. There I was, right? So these are 2 phrases that you can use that'll really, you know, really draw people in to make that emotional connection. And number 6 is a call to action. This is really, really important because most of the time we don't have a call to action on our stories, on our Facebook Lives, or in our posts or whatever. We just expect people to like reach out to us and say, oh my God, your post was so inspiring. I want to join your team and make you millions of dollars. No, people. Can y'all just, in the comments below, I want you to drop right now, no, people, that won't work. No, people, that won't work. And the reason it doesn't work is because people are, what are we doing on social media? Pakatika, pakatika, pakatika. We are gaining miles on our thumb 24/7. We are scrolling and trolling. We're stalking. We're being weird. Sorry. We're doing some weird crap, right? So the problem that most people have is they don't have a call to action. People actually like to be told what to do, right? So I'm telling you guys to drop in the comments what I'm saying. You like when I tell you what to do. Why? Because I give you results, right? So people like that. So that's okay. I want you to know that. So you need to understand that if you want people to stop and read, that's your verbiage, your image, all that jazz. But you have to have a call to action, or they're like, oh, that was a great post. It was really nice. Next. Meh. Meh. And go keep on moving. Keep it moving, right? Okay, so in order for that, we need to have a call to action. So here's an example. Drop, and by the way, this is a little bit of engagement bait. So, sorry, let me pull my shirt down so I can feel my shirt. I feel my shirt coming up in the background. Let me just do that. Okay. So here's an example. You can do drop in the comments, but here's what it is. Space out the word drop or space out the word comment below, like C space O space M space M space. So this way Facebook doesn't read the engagement bait. Yes, I know it's weird, but don't wait like I did. Comment below with this emoji if you would like to learn a little bit more about my story, or if you would like to connect with me and have a conversation about how I can help you, or to get into my VIP group, or to, get on my list, or to learn the 3 things or the 3 ways that I've learned how to make money from home, or whatevs. My point is that people need a call to action. They need to be inspired to join you, to buy your product. And most of the time, you guys, and I think this is where I have to give, I'm so proud of this community, by the way, this healer community. I'm so grateful for you freaking studs in here because I'm watching you all on Facebook. I'm seeing that everything I'm teaching you, you're taking in and you're getting results with. You guys, my inbox blows up with, oh my gosh, Marina, this free training you did, I did it, I took action and this happened. Or, oh my gosh, this course I took, blah, 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 blah. Like, congratulations to Shamra, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw the post, but she was in my last workshop. She won $500 cash for me for being the top recruiter in her company, hitting the top of her leaderboard. Chrissy was the same way. I mean, there was just so many amazing results from the Art of Recruiting live workshop I did. And it makes me so happy. It makes me so freaking happy. So I want you to keep stalking this group, keep giving value and bringing value into this group and connecting, with the trainings that I do, because I'm not doing it for any other reason but to help you, to help every single one of you. So here's what I want to say before I get into the next piece of this is that, I see a lot of healers, just not even just healers, but I see a lot of people in the network marketing industry that are not taking this piece seriously, right? Maybe you had massive success and you're like, I'm good. Or maybe you didn't have success and you're like, I'm good. Maybe you're just not thinking like a marketer. I need you to think like a marketer when it comes to social media. So what if, here, let me ask this question first. How many of you have Instagram? Drop Instagram in the comments below if you have an Instagram account. Just drop the words Instagram. We have a post that's inside this group too, by the way, where you could drop your Instagram handle. You just have to search in the group. You could drop your Instagram handle and everybody's following everybody. I did that on purpose. I think we're up to almost 1,000 comments on that post. It's freaking crazy. So drop in the comments if you have Instagram. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Okay, cool. So here's my question. So first off, let me tell you, I used to hate Instagram. I used to hate it because I used to think that, and please don't judge me about what I'm about to say. I'm just going to keep it 100, okay? And I used to think that it was just a bunch of females on there that wanted to pose half naked and become an Instagram model. I was that hashtag judgmental human where I was like, there is no connecting that is going to happen on Instagram. Like, I was just over it. So same, I was just I'm not going on it. I'm not going to post on it. It's whatever. Now, over time, I was gaining followers just because I was growing in the network marketing industry. So people were searching, and I always put every single social media handle that I had on my website and everywhere, just because it's always good to build more than one platform. And about two and a half years ago, or 3 years ago, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start building Instagram. I have Facebook down. I'm freaking rocking it out. I'm going to master every single social media platform. That was my goal. And Instagram, I was all right, so when I first started about 3-4 years ago, actually building for real, I think I was at 2,000 followers. And now here I am, when I have over 20,000 followers and I have real engagement, which is amazing. And so I have connected with so many leads for my brand, so many humans for my business, for my network marketing business, and I've made so many relationships that I have affiliate marketing that goes on now, and I have people that send me free stuff just because I retag and redo all this crazy stuff. And I was like, you know what? I think it's time for a 30-day live Instagram workshop. So check this out. If I could show you, really, see? If I could show you how to tell more impactful stories, be a better storyteller, and to leverage the fastest growing social media platform, right? With over 1 billion users, right? Over 1 billion monthly active users. If I could show you how to leverage that, would that interest you? Yes or yes? Drop that in the comments, okay? So I know there's a lot of follow and unfollow that goes on. You won't have to worry about that with what I'm going to teach you guys, because I promise you that you won't have to worry about that. So if you could benefit before, so something that you might not know, there's a book called the 24 or the 22 Irrefutable Laws of Marketing. And the very first law, they talk about being first, right? Being first in your niche, being first or being category creating, right? It's really about finding white space, which is a whole training I did inside the Heels Up Academy. I'm not going to get into that now. And basically, we as network marketers can take advantage of Instagram like I took advantage of Facebook back in 2000 and ended 2013. That's exactly what I did back in 2013. I feel like I learned the platform before anybody else did, and that's what I'm doing with Instagram now, is I'm taking advantage of it, right? So I have some things I want to share with you guys, so check this out. First and foremost, I want to share some testimonials with you, okay? So first and foremost, Shamra got 1,000 new followers in 30 days. Christy gained over 200 followers on Instagram. She had Instagram for 2 to 3 years and never had this much engagement until My Techniques. Emily said, I made a product post. They're usually duds, but today, holy cow, I can't keep up. Alicia said, I've been sending messages like you taught me and getting tons of responses and gained 50 new followers overnight. Oh, can we just say, oh, in the comments, okay? So what happens is this. Instagram is legit growing fast. And right now, most of you are probably like, I don't know how to use Instagram. Or I just post on it, but I get nowhere. Or I don't know if I should be building Instagram. So I want you to understand this workshop is for beginners and intermediate, right? These are for people that have no followers or have up to 5,000 followers or 10,000 followers. This training will be for you. Oh, I love it, right? So it's growing fast. So I'm going to teach you guys how I gain leads every single day on there, how I get new customers, how I gain new recruits. I'm going to share some exact strategies that I've done. For one post, I had 4,000 interactions from utilizing hashtags the way that I personally use them. I had 69 new followers. I had 10 new direct messages from people reaching out to me. And I had 18 shares on this post into the Instagram stories. And just so you know, I am not as popular on Instagram as I am on Facebook, and I'm starting to explode in this past year, like legit from the strategies I've been using. And those that join this workshop, guess what y'all gonna get? You are going to get my Instagram SOS tracker that is the bomb freaking diggity. It is a checkoff sheet that you're gonna get of what you need to do every single day to be consistent. But anyway, here's what you can expect, okay? First and foremost, how to set up your Instagram profile the right way. So from start to finish, you are going to learn what your profile should look like, what you should say in the bio, what links should be in the bio, how to do a pretty Instagram grid, how to do some really cool stuff. Everything that I use, I'm gonna be teaching inside this workshop. You get lifetime access to this training. Every 30 days, you get to redo this training. Yes, you should redo this training every single 30 days, just like those that were in the 30-day recruiting. Lifetime access to it. This is a live workshop. Yes, live workshop, okay? You're gonna learn how to boost the look of your profile. It's called InstaBoost for a reason. The daily action steps. So every single day at 8 a.m., there is going to be a video that is posted telling you what exactly to do on freaking Instagram in order to get more leads, make more connections, double your DMs and all that jazz. How to leverage hashtags to gain followers and make real connections. How to double your DMs. How to boost your engagement. How to reach out to complete strangers to collaborate. Yeah, we're going to be talking about that too. I'm going to challenge you, okay? How to boost your Instagram story views. So how to get more people watching your Instagram stories. How to tell a story with images. How to write captions that stand out so you're not super boring. And how to tell stories on Instagram stories. So this is a live 30-day workshop. It's going to start December 3rd. I forgot the date already. My bad. December 3rd. So what is that? 5 days from now? What is today? No, 6 days. So 6 days from now, it's going to start. Limited seating, FYI. I'm not taking hundreds and hundreds of people into this. I'm very selective about that. There's a reason. The link will work until it doesn't anymore, until they're gonna have a certain number that's inside this group, because you're gonna have access to me. You're gonna have a secret Facebook group and a back office. And you can ask unlimited questions inside the Facebook group, right? Because that's how we freaking learn, right? So it's a live workshop. There's not only going to be 30 videos that tell you daily action steps, I'm also doing 4 live 1-hour Zoom trainings in this 30-day live workshop, okay, in the InstaBoost WorkShop. And that's another place you're gonna come on. We're gonna share what we're doing. I'm gonna do some more tutorials. There's gonna be PDF downloads on every single step-by-step action you should be taking. My favorite, which I already talked about, is the IG SOS tracker. Here's who it's for. Look, if you're ready to leverage another platform and you're ready to be like the number one, like you're ready to be first, then this is for you. If you're like, I don't know if I want to do Instagram or IG, this isn't for you. It's just that simple. I will have tutorials on how to set things up, how to do stories, how to do everything I talk about. There will be a tutorial behind it with my screen. So it's not like you're like, got to figure it out on your own. And you get to reuse this, because if you reuse every action step that I give you for those 30 days, what ends up happening, boop, boop, it's going to be even better. So I'm closing the doors December 3rd. I'm going to go over pricing right now, because you guys are probably like, what the hell? I want to do this. I want to do this too. Okay, let me go over December 3rd. I think it closes. Yes, December 3rd at midnight, the doors are going to close. However, it's going to be first come, first serve, right? I have a number of people that I'm accepting into this, and it's because I want to work with small numbers. That's what I love to do inside my workshops and all that jazz. That's just how I roll, right? So if you are interested, okay, I want you to drop interested. Actually, no, drop workshop in the comments below, and then I will personally reach out to you to give you the link to this, okay? So drop workshop in the comments, and I'm personally going to reach out to you to give you the link, because again, I'm not like, this is not gonna be blasted everywhere, okay? So, because I wanna give you guys that are on this video live and that watch the replay before the mass email goes out, I wanna give you guys the opportunity to join. So before you drop workshop, here's the thing, okay? I need you to understand what the pricing is. I want only people that are interested and that are gonna do this. So you have 2 options, okay? The first is you could make 2 easy payments of $175. So 2 easy payments of $175, 2 easy payments, one this month and one next month, okay? And that's it for the workshop. That'll pay it in full. Or if you're like, I want to pay it in full and I want to save money, then it's $297 to pay it in full. Either way you pay it, you're going to have lifetime access to this information. So you can either make 2 easy payments of $175, or you can make one-time payment of $297. So again, only if you are serious about doing this, please drop workshop in the comments below. I personally will be reaching out to you, or Marissa will be personally reaching out to you, because I can only send a certain amount of messages at a certain time, obviously. So for those of you, again, that are interested, drop workshop in the comments. I will personally reach out to you to give you the link where you can save your seat. I'm excited. This is going to be so much fun. The last 30-day workshop we did was just a blast. And I was like, you know what? This is kind of like the jam. 30-day workshops, the Heels Up Academy. This is how we're going to roll in the healer community. So if you got value from this, do me a favor, drop value in the comments. I'm just very, very grateful for all the support and love that each and every one of you have given me during this pregnancy, during this hard time with my grandmother. It's just so great to be a part of a community of women. And, you know, I know we have some guys that are trickling in here and there, but the women that are just in this group, I'm so proud of you. And I'm so excited to see the next wave of 6- and 7-figure earners that start to rise up in this industry. Because every single one of you that are putting in the hard work, you freaking deserve it. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So drop workshop in the comments if you're ready to rock and roll. I will start reaching out to you tonight with the links. Start saving your seat, even though the doors don't close till December 3rd, because I can promise you that once the seats go, they're gone. Ciao, guys.